Right now I see you. Perfect.
Yeah, because outside is also dark and my light is a little bit away.
Hopefully you see me. So I'm
Okay, I prefer to speak like this, so I can only listen you carefully, and it's like better.
yeah, sure. If you want, I will also turn off my camera so that we can
Mm.
focus on this. Okay, let me turn off the camera. So the good thing is that finally you're receiving some nice job offers. Okay. The time was difficult during this corona time and all of this stuff. The time is at the moment still is difficult, but you are at the moment receiving job offers. And I think at the moment you also receive a few fixed offers and so on. So let's talk about the stories during this last month and so on, specifically talking about this offers and how do you feel?
Yeah, it was like a really challenging time because of Corona, and everything was stopped. But now, like the companies are getting pays, and they are looking for people once again after this Corona crisis. And yeah, I'm getting lots of job offers because of my profile that I have is good, and your mentorship is also always there. So I know in which company I have to apply, and I'm getting all this, list of jobs from Cademix. So I know like which jobs are exactly meeting my criterias and are suitable for me. So I'm directly applying there, and that's why like I'm getting good response at the moment.
Narend, at the moment you are living a couple of years here in Europe, a few years in Europe,
Hmm.
and you have different options. You see different cities and different countries and all of this stuff. What is your feeling in terms of finding a job somewhere in Europe? Do you still have some preferences or specific industries you're looking at? Or how is your feeling related to the job market?
Well, I have traveled almost all the countries, not all, but almost, which I really wanted to travel. And I have a specific feeling that in Europe it's pretty much the same everywhere. The point is when you are getting a job, it should be interesting. It should be something that you enjoy your work. That is very important. It doesn't matter if it's a big company or a small company. That is my opinion at the moment. In the beginning, I always wanted to stay in, like, let's say in Austria and Switzerland only, but now I see it in a completely different way because of the corona crisis. Like, okay, if you get a job, it's important for you. You can change later on when you have more experience. You have more chances to go to another country and change it. But at the moment, you need a job. So I was just take myself, okay, wherever I get a job related to FEM, finite element methods, or ANSYS, or design, or 3D printing, these are my area of interest. So if I find something around them, then I'll go there. It doesn't matter whether it's like Austria or Germany or Poland, or it doesn't matter for me anymore.
Yeah, of course. This is something that you immediately see that because of the job market is changed during this corona. But let's talk about the situation of the corona. During this corona time you've been here, you also had some new experience of living, like lifestyle changing. How do you describe this corona in the beginning and toward right now? Give a little bit of, let's say, intro on that.
Everybody was really afraid in the beginning about corona, so we have seen this lockdown. Even the entire Europe was in a lockdown mode for at least 1 month. But after that, we have like our own data. Like, it's not from China, it's not from any other country, but every country has faced their own people, like they have corona and they have recovered. And then people have also get more awareness about corona, and now there is no more lockdown. Like in Austria, you can freely go outside, you don't need a mask. When you enter in a supermarket, then only you need a mask, or when you are traveling in a tram or bus, only in that case you need a mask. So now it's more free, people are more relaxed, they are enjoying their vacations. But it's totally different as compared to India, because there you are getting like 50 or 60,000 cases every day. And it's like, but it's a huge country with the population of 1.3 billion. So that can be possible with that much number of cases. Now people are more aware, and they are not that much, they don't have that much fear regarding corona. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah, hopefully the situation will get better. Narend, let's talk about your involvement. You had some easy situation during your stay. You had difficult situation during your stay. You had, let's say, easy days, hard days, rainy days. I think we,
Yeah,
we were we were friends during the difficult times and during the happy times and during the different kind of time. What is your
yeah, that's
feeling? What is your feeling about this kind of programs that we have? If you want to describe program that we have at Academics, or even before that, when I was at the Fachhochschule and so on. Yeah, what is your
it's
feeling
a
about
combination of
this?
both, I guess. It's friendship and mentorship together, all together. And I think a mentor should be always a friendly one, because if your mentor is not friendly, then you cannot, ask your problems, you cannot discuss freely. So yeah, it's a good combination of nice friendship and nice mentorship altogether. And I have seen like kind of revolution, I would say, like from a professor in Fachhochschule and now president of Cademix. Like Academics is really doing extraordinary. He's only focusing on the things that people need. Okay, I just wanted to learn design and simulation because I'm interested in that field, and you are only focusing on a specific area, and not like you have to study for 4 years and a long and a boring program, but you are just focusing on what exactly is demanding in the job market. And that is really like something different, something not so normal in Europe. It's like innovative and a kind of good startup, I would say. And you have great collaboration with EU and very renowned institutes as well. Like Cost is one of working together with academics. So it's also nice, and I see it in a quite different way. Like your way of thinking is different, and you are really want to help people from across the globe. Like no matter they are from India, China, Pakistan, you are ready to help all of them just because on the basis of their talent and not because of their nationality or something. And that's great.
Yeah, thank you. Of course, we are also welcoming the good people, talent like you. I mean, this is also the power of us is the power that comes from our network. We
Yeah.
without the people, without the good people like you, we are nothing. But the point is that's actually the good network. Narend, I have another question. Um,
Uh-huh.
what is your impression about this kind of diversity that you see in the university or in the society?
Well, it depends on like every professor is different. Every professor has its own way of teaching. Every professor has his own understanding towards people, towards the international people, I would say. More specifically, some people at universities are really open and welcoming everybody, but there are some people like they're just wanted to stick with their own people. They don't trust on other people, on other nationalities, I would say. And that is quite common. I mean, it's everywhere in a general way. So I have seen some professors who are like really helping and they don't care about nationality, but I have seen some professors who are not like this, and you will not get any opportunity and you cannot work with them. So that is a harsh truth as well.
That's true. That's true. Let's talk about the families. Sometimes the families contacting us, or maybe also families contacting you, they are worried to send their kids to Europe because they have a lot of
Yeah,
questions. Yeah.
yeah,
Sometimes we don't know how to answer them because the kind of the worries that they have is different. So
yeah.
did you have the cases that the people from India, like parents and so on, like family members contacting you and asking you some questions?
Well, actually, the guy, like, or the girl, she wants to study here. They always approached me if they have any questions. But at the same time, parallelly, when they arrived in Austria, then they gave my contact number to their families so they can be assured, like, okay, if someone is there to help us, to talk us, and to resolve our issues. So I can give you one example. Okay, one of the boy, and he got selected in one of the program, and then when he came here, then he shared my number with his brother and with his parents. And then like they call me, like if everything is okay with him, because in the beginning you don't have a SIM card or something. And I assured them, yeah, everything's okay, he's in right position, Austria is a good country. And I assured them, and they were like, okay, when they listen to me, then they believe more. Okay, yeah, when he's saying something, then it's okay.
Hmm,
So
hmm.
they always need a more extra assurity. Parents always need extra assurities. Okay, so if I am saying something, probably they won't believe. But if you talk to my parents and you are a professor, then they will 100% believe. So that's the case.
Of course, I understand. They want to talk with multiple people. That's actually the point.
Yeah,
So the more assured.
relevant people who's already there, who has already faced everything. So
And this is in reality is like this, that if you have more people to support you, certainly you will be on the more safe side. So of course, some
of
people
course,
they are at the university, but parallel to university, they can also join a supporting organization. What is your recommendation to the current student who are already in Europe?
I will highly recommend them to join academics because, for example, when I faced trouble during my master thesis or during my internships or during I was stuck with some problem in my project, I always asked you because our field was relevant. Like I was always working in FEM or 3D printing, and you always support me. Later on, like at this moment, like you're also supporting me with finding jobs and getting interviews and all. So okay, it's a human tendency that we need some moral support, and we can say, okay, if I'm in a problem, there is someone to help me. So in my case, it was always you. Okay, I can call you in the morning, in the night. It was no problem for me. And I always asked when I was like, I know we have spoken for hours, for 2 hours altogether, from 8 in the night, 8 to 10 in the evening. So and you supported me mentally, and yeah, that all I need at that moment.
I totally
And
remember.
yeah,
I remember
and I
that. I
highly
remember that.
recommend that we need such kind of support, and everybody should join, because you have 15 years of 20 years of experience in FEM, and then in Europe as well, so you know very well, like okay, what to do, what not to do, what are the good effects and what are the bad effects of this thing. So it's really worth talking to you, and you always supported me as a mentor, and you're still supporting me, because in future I definitely need your support as well. So
Of course, we are friends, so we're going to support each other, no problem. Let's talk about the recent development that you had. So basically, you are receiving more job offers and so on. Let's talk about some of this stuff. What are the discussion that you have during the interviews? What's happening during the recent interviews that you are having? So first of all, I need to congratulate you because of the receiving very good number of the offers and all of this stuff. But maybe you can give a little bit of feeling. How do you feel about that you are receiving these positive answers and all of this stuff? And what
Mhm.
is the situation at the moment?
So the first thing is like you need a really good and impressive CV for getting job offers. And as you mentioned on the website as well, like nowadays it's like artificial intelligence. Like no, HRs are not seeing your application, but it's filtered out by a machine or by a robot. So you need to have all these keywords to get into the for the first round of interview. And my CV was good. Like I confirmed with you, I sent my CV to you, and you have gave me lots of corrections, and I improved my CV in that way. And I have an impressive CV, and now I know how to, who gonna check my application. Maybe it's a robot, and then I need these keywords to crack this the first round. And later on, now I'm getting like, okay, I'm always clarifying the first round, and I'm getting lots of interview calls. And because of this corona crisis, like you have to do always in Skype, you don't need to go to the company. That's a good thing actually. So you can just do the thing on Skype, and they're asking about my hobbies and my experience and what I did in my master thesis, in my bachelor projects, and during my internship. So these are the basic questions. You don't need to be afraid. You have to be more honest and confident. And if you're telling everything in a nice way, then I think it's not a problem to crack the interview.
Mhm.
That is my impression.
What is your feeling at the moment, finally, when somebody calls you and say, "Hey, positive answer"?
Well, it's really great because yeah, I'm always waiting for that moment when I have a great job. And it's nice, but still, until unless I don't get a confirmation, a written confirmation, I don't believe, because this happened to me 2 3 times. Like they told me like we will hire you, and then situation, okay, the project situation is not so good, and unfortunately we cannot. So until I don't get a written confirmation, I don't believe on it anymore. So but it's a good feeling to, like, at least you reach on that level. Okay, there are so many people who applied for this position, but you are the one who is like at least in top two or top three people for that position. And that is like a good feeling, that is okay, what we have did is worth, and that gives you more confidence actually.
Very good, very good. Of course, that's a nice point that you mentioned. So there are different levels. At first, you're happy to get invited to interviews, then you are happy to get to second interview, third interview, then you're happy to get a positive answer. But still, you are waiting for a written contract. Yeah. So
Yeah.
actually, you are at the moment in the last step. So hopefully, we will have another interview with you in a couple of months once you have already finalized your signature. But at the moment, since you already got a few positive
Yeah,
answers.
I have to choose one, like which one is suitable for me, and which is which is more passionating for me. It's not about money for me always. Like okay, if you have passion, then it's more important. So which is like a good location, good salary, and what is my passion? I have to think all these three things together. And of course I'll discuss with you like which suits best for me as well, so we can discuss all the options I have at the moment. And then we will finally uh, tell it publicly what I have. So
Exactly. We don't
let's
need
make it
to
more
say it.
interesting to our viewers or to our listeners, like where I where I
This is
get my.
like a exactly. This is like a reality show at the moment that every time we are having a kind of series and so on. So in this episode, we are discussing very good news that you already found some positive answers. So basically, you have a few options. But you see that here there is something quite interesting. In the beginning, you were searching for the job, and right now you have options. This is actually a quite a different thing. It's like the coin is just turned, and you're right now in a total different situation. So far the people were selecting you, and now you're in a situation to choose from one of the existing offers, and that's actually quite a good feeling, so that we
Yeah,
have
actually, yeah, in
options.
August or let's say in after mid of July, it's like the situation is a little bit better as compared to like in March or April or even in January, February. So the situation was not so good, especially in the automotive sector. In Germany, it was a crisis, I guess, in around September, October in automotive market. Yeah, but now it's little bit, getting pace again. The situation is getting back to normal, and yeah, and that's why probably I have a little more opportunities. But it feels me good, like okay, I wanted one job, but still now I have options to choose, and yeah,
Naren, I think at the moment you are in a happy time and so on, but the situation was not always quite happy. You had a very stressful time. You didn't know what would be kind of, let's say, worst case scenario and all of this stuff. So if you couldn't find a job, what was the other
hmm,
scenarios that you could think of? Have you ever thought about that? I mean, there is a huge uncertainty that the people have. What is your
yeah,
recommendation when the people say that, oh, I don't know what to do? Because this is actually a process, and during the process at some point you're getting this kind of a stress or being worried about
hmm,
that. So what is your
yeah,
recommendation to the people that are already under stress? I mean, we are talking with the people who have only, let's say, 2 months until the end of their visa, that expiration, all of this stuff,
okay.
and they are getting into some sort of a stress, and they are somehow paralyzed their activities and all of this stuff. So what is your recommendation to those people in terms of stress management?
Okay, I mean, I've been through a very stressful time during my master thesis. I've been very stressful and yeah, anxiety as well. But you have to stay with, you have to struggle and you have to face this time, and you have to always be positive. That's the most important thing. If you are positive, you will find something. That is like the mental support, but still you always have to, like now you said, like if somebody has like 2 months and his visa is expiring, his or her visa is expiring, what should he or she do? So I would say, like, you should always think in advance for 6 months or 1 year in pipeline. For example, I thought if I couldn't find a job, then I'll enroll in a German course, so I will learn German, and parallelly I will apply because I already have a master. That is like just an option for me to stay in Austria. So these kind of options you have, or you can go for a PhD. So this is another options because now the situation is not so good, so you can just get more experience, academic experience or something like that, but still it's an experience. And you can wait, like okay, after 3 4 years the situation would be better, and then you can apply for a job, but now then you have like 5 years of experience. So from the right beginning you need always a backup plan. Okay, if I couldn't get a job, then you have to do this. If I couldn't get a job, you have to do that. So you should have at least 2 3 options in your mind from the beginning.
Yeah, of course, all of these options, like industrial option, university option, and so on, are different possibilities. Some of them, of course, depending on the situation, might be more suitable. For example, doing a second master in a different area might be a second option, but doing a PhD would be, of course, much better during the crisis. And getting
Yeah,
into a kind of, let's say, internship and so on is also quite a nice thing if the payment is well done and all of this is done. So each of these options, they have their own advantages and
yeah,
disadvantages.
yeah,
Of
yeah,
course, this is
sure.
something that we always discuss between all of these options. I'm happy that you're having many options in front of you at the moment. We know that each of these options, they have advantage and disadvantage which comes
Yeah.
together with the socio-economical situations of the world, that this kind of
Yeah.
situation of the lockdown is still affecting some of this stuff. As long as there is a crisis, you might say that, okay, not always the maximum amount of money is more important for me, rather another, let's say, security on the long term would be my highest priority. So from that
Yeah.
point, we need to discuss about more details, what kind of options are suitable during this time and during the post-corona time. It's not always an easy decision of the payment and salary.
Yeah, I always said like, okay, it's not about salary. It's not about salary. It's about like what is the job exactly? Is it like relevant to me, or it's is it like in my area of expertise? Let's say in FEM, 3D printing, or designing. So if it's my area of interest, that is one option. Second is salary, and third is location. If it's like, okay, if it's Switzerland, Austria, Germany, or Belgium, it depends. Okay, like every location has its pros and cons. You have to think about everything, and but the most important thing is your passion, I guess.
Of
So
course,
if you are,
yes, yes.
because you have to, no matter if you're in Switzerland or in America, you have to sit in front of a PC or in front of a laptop and you have to do a task no matter where you are. So that is more important, the most important thing, and money comes later. For me, it's not my priority for sure.
Exactly, exactly. Naren, I realized that at the moment you introduce yourself as a finite element and 3D printing expert, which you are. I mean, I can confirm that you are an expert in the area of finite element. However, if we take a look at the starting point of your entry to Austria and the program that you started in the beginning, you started in
Mhm.
e-mobility system. And if I remember well, you didn't have any course related to finite element, neither finite element nor 3D printing. So from that
Yeah,
point, you basically you took this, you had this courage to change your career while you're doing a kind of, let's say, study program. You change your area of study or change your expertise to the area that is more profitable and more relevant to your expertise. There are
yeah,
many people, they want to do this kind of, but they don't have courage to do this stuff, to go from one topic to the other. They say that, hey, I'm an
okay.
engineer. They are afraid to go to a different topic. So tell your story from your point again. I would like to listen to that.
Well, I won't say it's like a change of field, because my bachelor's, in my bachelor thesis, I did like some CFD simulations. That was my bachelor thesis, and
Of course.
also like designing was also there. But I joined this course because e-mobility is all about electric vehicles, and when like Tesla was like on the top trend when in 2016 when I arrived. I mean, it's still there, but that was like e-vehicle, e-mobility is the future, e-mobility is the future, and I only find this course. I got selected in another universities as well, in Czech Republic, in Italy, in Germany, in UK as well. But I chose this course because again I followed my passion. So I thought, okay, I'll go with e-mobility, and yeah, Austria is a really nice country. So I chose this course, and then I thought, okay, I'll focus on battery technology, okay, because that was the highest ECTS credit in this course. But later I realized like battery technology is more about chemistry. That's fine, I can do that, but it's more about electronics as well, and I'm not like that good in electronics, or I never studied electronics. And then I thought, okay, then just go back to what you know and follow the FEM stuff and design. And 3D printing was so excited for me. I never did 3D printing before and just heard about it, but that was very excited for me. So design and simulation, like all together from beginning to final product, so you can do all together in once. And that I decided, okay, I'll follow my passion from my bachelor's. And then it was never in my curriculum, like 3D printing and FEM and this design, but I somehow try to merge them together. For my projects I used to do 3D printing, so I somehow connected 3D printing and design with them. And we have like some basic part of powertrain simulation. In that I introduced ANSYS and FEM simulations as well. And then I got my master thesis in FEM simulation for the vehicle, for the car, for the crash analysis. So somehow I continued this area. And it doesn't matter actually what you follow. If you have some interest, you can follow them, but I followed a different pathway as compared to other guys.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, from
Yeah,
the
it's
topic
different from
that.
like you are from a different, you were a professor there in FEM, and that was not like you were not in my department or in my area, but still I contacted you. And yeah, we are still doing good together. So you're always like, you need some courage, and if you need to find your passion no matter what you are studying.
Yeah, of course. This courage is actually very important, because sometimes the people, they don't have this courage to leave, comfort zone that they have, to move from one topic to the next topic, while some
Yeah.
of the topics might be trendy in some specific time. So for example, you saw that here in the beginning, these electro vehicles and all of this stuff, they were quite trendy like
Battery
few
technology was
years
quite
ago.
trendy, yeah. But now it's again like okay, almost neutral because when I came here, I was searching even internships and master thesis at that time as well. I was started looking, and I see like it's all about battery technology and fuel cells. But now I see it's again FEM analysis of the battery, and it's again with the classical topics of mechanical engineering.
Exactly.
So
So some of the topics can be on the trend. I mean, it's good to know the trends, but at the end of the day, it's also important to be realistic about the job market. You need to know the information about the job market, and
that's true.
it's your responsibility to focus your expertise on the area that is required in the industry. If you know that some topics are always in trend, you better think about that. Sometimes you can have a prediction to change your topic and so on. This is something that you can anyway do that, but just following the trends probably is not quite good. Narend, let's talk about the
Yeah.
other people that came together with you. Is everybody just like you? All of your colleagues and friends, are all of them successful during this Corona time, or they are not as successful as you?
Uh, I don't want to like demotivate or promote someone, but as far as I know, like some of the people, they already had a good previous experience before they joined this masters. Like they have 5 years of experience before, and then they came here and did this masters. Of course, they got job immediately after finishing the masters. But I know a few of the people, and they didn't get their job by now, and they are still struggling with it. So there are both. Like if you have good experience, then yeah, always you're welcome and you have more chances, but if you're a fresh guy and then finding a job, then it's like a little bit difficult. I don't know anyone who was like a fresher and got a job. In my personal information, I would say, in my personal knowledge, I don't know someone who got a job and who was like fresher, who directly came like me after finishing his bachelor's. He directly came to doing masters and got a job. I don't know.
So basically, you are one of the rare cases that you are basically a fresher, but at the same time, you have a huge success. So from that point, you are a quite success case among the freshers, let's say.
Maybe some of them are not in my contact and maybe they have got it, but I'm not sure. So yeah.
Let's finish the interview with a few last questions. So, what is the next plan over the next, let's say, 3 to 6 months from now? What are you trying to do?
Well, I have to think about all the options I have, and I also want to discuss all the options with you. And I will finalize one thing in which direction I have to go. And once I decided, then probably I'll follow it. But the passion is the most important thing. And yeah,
Exactly. We will going to continue this discussion. Probably we will have another interview again once you settle down. We still have a
yeah,
lot of discussion to do to see that
yeah, sure.
what is the best option and so on. Okay, Narend, it was really good news for today. I really enjoyed that, and
Thank you very
hopefully we
much,
will
sir.
stay in touch. Keep me informed about your good news and
Sure,
everything,
sure, sure,
but
sure,
all of
sure.
the news
We'll
good.
always be in touch. That's no problem in that.
Okay, sure.
Yeah,
Then
yeah,
talk to you later. Thank you. Talk
yeah,
to you
yeah.
later.
Thank
Bye
you.
for now.
Thank you very much. Bye,
You're
bye, bye.
welcome.
Have a
Bye.
nice evening.
Bye.
Bye.
You too. Thank you. Bye.